Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, I'm Heavy.
I'm Hammer.
We're Heavy Hammer Bushcraft. Just kind of wanted to kick off the new series I mentioned on the blog and Facebook page, and wanted to sit down and talk a little bit about bushcraft, right, and what bushcraft is.
What is bushcraft?
Well, let's look at the etymology of the word, the roots of this thing.
What's that for the layman out here like me?
The basic portions of the word bush and craft.
Ah, okay, I can follow this.
What's the bush?
Well,
not
here.
in that sense. Got him.
Where we're at today, this would be the bush.
And craft is a strength or a skill.
Absolutely.
So bushcraft, despite what everybody wants to call it, is just your skill or strength being out here in the woods. What you can do. It's not carving forks and spoons and...
I don't know, a good feather stick will go a long way.
Well, you know, I suppose. But
that's a topic for another time.
That is the topic for another time. We'll have that discussion later. That's the definitely advanced stuff. But you know, people get so hung up on the kit that you need. You gotta have this knife and this tarp.
And I'll tell you, I'll add to that. I know a lot of good guys, great guys, good hearts, that have more money in gear than they could even potentially touch with their skill level. You know, I think it's better to have a $20 more companion and a good sharpening stone and know it. You know, you know exactly everything about the angle of the geometry.
You can actually sharpen the knife,
yes,
rather than having a $150, $200, $400 knife that you can't even put a decent edge on.
Yeah, you know, I know guys that have custom knives can't even sharpen their kitchen knives,
right,
anything.
Hey, you know, on the same topic, this guy here, that is a Walmart $14.96 hatchet.
Now, you needed to give it some love on the grinder. I mean,
I did take it to the grinder a little bit. I did reprofile it, cleaned all that crappy finish off of it. But this thing will eat just as good as, well, I'll never know if it eats as good as a Grand Force because I'm not going to spend the money. I'm cheaper than a free movie ticket.
Well, I mean, only if my wife would ever let me, right?
Ooh, right. That's why I'm not married.
Ah. Hey, it's like, you know, for my main hatchet, I carry a Council Tool Flying Fox.
Right, which is a good hatchet.
Great hatchet. Great hatchet.
Not stupid expensive.
No, I think they're like 40, 50 bucks, somewhere around there. So
yeah.
Now, again, you're going to have to probably do a little edge work. It's going to need a sheath, things like that.
But if you don't know how to do the edge work and you can't, you know, come up with some kind of sheath for it, do you need to spend stupid money on a tool?
And again, it comes back to the bushcraft thing. If you're in the bush, knowing how to make a sheath could be a pretty valuable lesson.
Right. You know, your leatherworking skills, your sewing, you know, your actual crafting, what most people would consider crafting skills,
technique,
right, are important. But they're not what you need to come out here and do bushcraft. I mean, let's face it, I mean, the basic beginner level bushcraft, you can get a $20 scout tent. I have one, actually. It sleeps one heavy by myself.
Or three me's.
You know, and it's 20 bucks. It's easy to set up. It's easy to take down. It's only a couple of pounds. You know, you get you a Mora companion knife.
Absolutely.
Which is 15, 20 bucks on Amazon. You know, and that's...
You're starting out good. And, you know, a nice, decent ferro rod. And don't be... I carry a big lighter. Yeah. I have a big lighter on me every day. That, a flashlight, my wallet, my keys.
Right. And if you need to upgrade from a Bic lighter, there's always a clipper.
It's true.
You know, I don't have one with me. I got two on top of my fridge at the house, though. I just... But they're great, you know, replaceable flints. You know, a little smoky up in here.
It is.
You know, replaceable flints, you can pull the flint out and use it. You can use it to catch a spark on like char cloth or something.
We've done it.
But you don't need it.
Nope, not at all.
You don't need a ferro rod. You don't need to know flint and steel. You don't need to know how to do a bow drill.
And I think you'll agree with me here. Loving just to be out of the kind of civilized rat race and just get out and listen to the birds and the crickets and the wind blowing and just really enjoy being back in your natural habitat.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Absolutely. That's the first thing you need to do bushcraft. You need to have that desire to go out and be in your own natural habitat, which is where we are. This is our natural habitat. Cubicles and whatnot are by far not the human's natural habitat.
No, there's no culture there.
No, none. That's less culture than a clean petri dish.
Right.
But you know, as long as you've got the desire, and
Yeah.
a small tent. You don't need a huge tent. I mean, if you're going with somebody, then you want something big enough for 2 people.
Absolutely. I got different setups. I've got my little bivy tent with me today because I absolutely hate ticks and mosquitoes. But the wife's coming out and the kids or whatnot. I've got a 4-man tent to pack everybody together.
Right.
And there's going to be some different amenities. I can live with a lot less than say what some of my family would definitely want to bring with them.
Absolutely. I mean, but if you have that basic, a small tent,
Yep.
something to sleep in, just a container for water.
Yeah.
You need to have some water with you. If you're going to go out for an overnight, bring a gallon of water.
Absolutely.
A gallon of water is probably a good option for an overnight. If you're going longer than that, you may want to look into other sources. Obviously, there's water purification.
And the whole water filter thing, and there's so many semantics that go along with which water filter is best, or blah 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 blah. And if you can't afford a Grail, don't buy it.
Right.
If you can afford a Sawyer, then get that one.
Right.
If you can afford the Grail, get it. It's pretty fantastic.
If you can afford a bush pot,
right?
You can boil your water.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But,
$15 Coleman pot at Walmart,
right,
the camping section.
You can boil all the water you need.
Yep.
Is it good drinking hot water? No, but it sure as hell beats the hell out of the alternative, I guess.
Well,
and you can always drink coffee.
I'd rather not dehydrate.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I think there's probably a dozen different ways I'd rather die than dehydration.
At least, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's really the extent of it. You don't need a lot.
Nope.
Something to sleep in, something to sleep on, a container for water, a decent knife,
good blade, some type of combustion starter.
Yeah, some type of a Bic lighter,
Yep.
Whatever. If you want to do the whole ferro rod thing, you know what? If you're just starting out, and that's what this series is going to be for, it's for people that are just starting.
Yep. The basic man's like, I'm tired of the rat race.
Right.
Let's get out here.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? What do I need to learn? But the cool thing is the learning happens after you get out there.
Right.
You don't learn and then go out there.
Right.
You get out there and say, man, I really hate this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like this type of blow-up mat, or I prefer
Right.
a browse mattress. I prefer this or that, or
Exactly.
I don't like a drop point versus a spear point, or a convex, and da-da-da-da-da.
Right. That's the stuff that comes with time.
That's all it
Experience is that thing that you need, that you get immediately after you need it. That's
Yep.
what it comes down to.
Yep.
And as far as, everybody has their personal preference for knives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got about 3.
Well, between the two of us today,
preferences.
we're carrying a pretty broad spectrum of blades.
Yeah.
I'm carrying the Condor Nesmuk, which is a $50 knife.
Which I have the Falkneven F1.
Right, that's about a $100 knife.
They're about $110-ish.
$110 knife.
It was a gift though.
Right.
I think you'll agree with me here though.
Oh, we gonna compare them now. Don't worry, it's rated G.
That right there. If I was going to recommend one thing,
absolutely,
for the field, it would be
tool.
A Swiss Army knife.
Now I've got the Swiss Champ, which is the larger one. It's got every tool known to man on it.
Yeah, and this is the Huntsman.
And that's the Huntsman.
Yep.
The Huntsman is a very solid little knife, or the Tinker even. I have a Tinker as well.
A Tinker's good. I actually prefer the corkscrew. That's why I go. If I weren't to go with a Huntsman, budget wise, like I didn't want to spend the $30, but I had 20.
Right.
I'd probably get a Camper.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, they're good knives. They hold an edge, easy to sharpen, easy to work with. Great little knives, and a great little pocket tool.
And you'll surprisingly use it more than you think you will.
Absolutely, you will. Absolutely. I'm a mechanic in my day-to-day life. I pull this thing out 3, 4, 5 times a week at least, Cordage. That's the one other thing I would recommend you bring some of.
As far as paracord, it doesn't matter if you get USGI. It's probably sourced to the lowest bidder for the military anyway.
It generally is.
So that hyper tough stuff at Walmart's going to be the same thing.
Right. I've used the crap out of it. It works great. Bankline.
The Walmart Bankline does suck though.
I
don't like anything off of Amazon's better than the Walmart Bankline.
Well, the Walmart. The reason is, and I actually know the reason for this. This is one of those weird pieces of information I have. The Walmart Bankline is actually tarred on the roll.
Okay.
Whereas
instead of individually tarred and wrapped.
Sergeant Knott's Bankline.
Yeah, they're good.
I swear by it. That's what I live by.
That's good stuff.
It's tarred before it's wound. So it's got an even coating of tar through the whole thing. Perfect stuff. That's what I've got used on my little shelter here.
And if it has to be sold out, I might buy the Texas Bushcraft, I think it is.
I've never used it myself, but you've got it today. Yeah. We were using some today, so yeah. But, you got cordage, you got a knife, you got cover, you got something to sleep in.
A container.
And a container for water. I hate to, God, I want to do it. It's a Dave Canterbury thing. That's the 5 C's.
No, actually, he's got 10 C's.
He does have 10, but I'm going to call it 5.
Well, you know, because you got candling device, some type of cotton bandana, but
Right, but
you got to respect the man.
you got. I don't like him.
I don't
can't
know
fucking
any.
stand him,
I don't
but
know,
I respect the shit out of him.
I don't know anybody out there that has condensed the almost necessities of camping and or minimum survival gear like the 10Cs does that Dave came out with.
I agree. I agree completely.
I do.
I have a lot of respect for the man. I don't necessarily like him. Even because I've read his Bushcraft series, Bushcraft 101, Advanced Bushcraft, and so on and so forth. I've read it, and
I don't think it's for the beginner. I don't think Bushcraft
101 is absolutely not for the beginner. Bushcraft 101 is like taking a English 101 course.
Right.
It is.
But you're an English speaker.
Right. Yeah. You've been through the basic courses in high school,
Yep.
and now you're moving on to college. I'm trying to do this. We're trying to do this as a Bushcraft freshman year.
Yeah, I almost say like almost Bushcraft for dummies.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I hate to use the trademark on that one.
Yeah,
but, you know,
no, copyright there.
but yeah, this is high
Dummies
school
like
Bushcraft.
us.
Dummies like us.
Hey, we got one whole idiot here.
Hey, right, just one. It's almost half a wit.
It's a good thing we can cook, or we just wouldn't even make it out here.
God damn, you ain't lying. That's why we're fat.
Right? Thank goodness.
But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. What we want to discuss here
Absolutely.
is just the basics of what we're going to be doing and where we're coming from on this, and hopefully the smoke from this fire isn't too terrible.
As bad
but
as we thought it was.
it's gotten progressively worse as we've gone on. But that's us. That's kind of what we're working on, and that's all I got. Right?
That's all I got too.
All right.
Guess we'll see you next time.
See you in the woods.